If I make this parkour course, I'm one step closer to saving the world. Even though this is parkour I've never done before, the good news is I can take my time because there's no one else doing the— oh no, I take that back. There is someone doing the course. This is not good. If that person makes the parkour course before I do, they'll have their hands on one of the 4 discs I need to save the world, which means I cannot take this parkour course slowly. Every single one of these parkour jumps were made up of crystals, and in all my time in Parkour Civilization, I've never seen jumps like these. But I had to go fast. I had to make the— no! I was the guy who saved Parkour Civilization, and I actually believed I could be the one to do it again. I had made 2 of the hardest courses I've ever done to get 2 of the discs, and I was on my way to get the 3rd one. But maybe it wasn't my destiny to make it out of this place alive. When I went searching for the crystal legend of parkour, I knew the journey was gonna be rough. The last time I made it through a parkour checkpoint, it resulted in a battle that almost cost me my life. So I kind of figured that this checkpoint would go the same way. I jumped onto the platform ready to parkour battle, but the strange thing is that there was no one here. There was no one guarding the checkpoint, which means I was either lucky or I was leading myself into a trap. Given everything that has happened, it's probably a trap. But the good news is that it was now just me and the hundreds of crystal parkour jumps. Even though I avoided a parkour battle, I was clearly not out of danger. I needed to make my way over to the Parkour Legends course, but that meant I had to figure out what exactly these parkour jumps were. Crystal jumps didn't exist in Parkour Civilization. I was going into this with 0 experience. I tried my best to stay on the crystals that were entire blocks, but at some point, I had no choice but to jump onto the smaller crystals. These crystals were barely big enough to stand on, and if I made the slightest mistake, that could very well mean my journey comes to an end.
Wait for him to show up. He will show eventually.
What was that? Hello? Is anyone there? Oh great, I think being stuck in this parkour world for so long is making me hallucinate. Well, this is nice. I have to worry about not dying from parkour, and I have to worry about not going crazy. I kept making jumps until I arrived at the place I needed to be. The Crystal Legends parkour course is where I could find the 3rd disc. If I make it, I'll only need 1 more disc to go home. But I had to go fast. I had to make the— no! And with 1 jump, my entire journey was over. I watched as the world of parkour got further and further away. There was nothing to save me now. The damage from the void already started, and within seconds, I would be gone forever. I couldn't do it. I thought I could be the one to save Parkour Civilization again, but I failed. In my last moments of life, everything seemed like it was in slow motion. I think I must have been going crazy because it looked like I was floating upwards. But that's when I realized I might not be crazy after all. I wasn't dead yet, and I was slowly rising back up to the world of parkour. What is going on? How is this possible? It was like I was watching my life in reverse. I was floating right back up next to the jump that I just failed. I was at a loss for words, but I might have had a second chance after all. I positioned myself over one of the jumps, and I dropped out of the air. I wasn't dead yet. I was back on the parkour course. In all my life, I've never heard of something like this happen. If I had to guess, I would say the parkour god saved me once again. When I turned around, I saw someone for a split second running away. My entire dodging death feat that I just pulled completely made me forget that I was still in danger. One of the fighters was ahead of me on this course. When I saw them, they were almost at the end, which means that person might have gotten the disc already. But there's no way to know for sure. That could have been someone else, which means I have to complete the course to see if the disc is still there. Besides, the parkour god probably pulled some strings to get me back on this course, so I owe it to him to try. In Parkour Civilization, the more jumps you make, the more answers you find. But I don't know if I will ever be able to do enough jumps to find the answer to how I'm alive. All I can do now is keep making the jumps and keep moving forward. I have to believe that whatever or whoever saved me from the void wants me to save Parkour Civilization. So I'm gonna try to not test my luck again and make all of these jumps. As of now, I saw no sign of the player that was here before me, and maybe this could be the reason why. Oh boy, I'm definitely gonna need another airlift out of the void. Now was no time to rush. I had to pay attention to exactly how large each crystal was. This jump was barely wide enough to fit through, but it was possible. I jumped into the tunnel, managing to stay on the very edge of the bottom crystal. Even the smallest miscalculation, like hitting my arm on the wall, would send me falling into the void. But luckily, I made it through the tunnel of narrow jumps, and I still had a fighting chance. After making it out, I could see the rest of the course, and I saw no sign of the fighter that was here before me. So that means it is very likely that the person I saw has gotten the disc already. Unfortunately, I have to do a 3.5 vertical block jump to figure that out. I got momentum, and I went for for one of the longest vertical jumps I've ever done. Even being the parkour champion, I didn't even know that was possible. But that's kind of been a similarity across all of these parkour courses. Almost all of these jumps that are on the courses don't even exist in Parkour Civilization and are near impossible. I hadn't thought about it, but maybe that's a reason why this entire civilization was removed. Actually, that doesn't really make any sense. Alright, let's just make it out alive and maybe someone will tell me the actual truth. But that's when I went for a jump and I heard something again.
Trust me, I can get the disc, just let me try.
It was another voice, like the one I heard before. I don't know where it's coming from. I thought it was crazy before, but now that it's happening again, I'm starting to really get worried. Man, my problems keep stacking. I need the disc to still be here, I have to not die in parkour, and now I have voices in my head. Great. Well, I'm gonna need a serious parkour vacation when I get back. Less than 10 jumps away stood between me and the end of the course. I just have to keep doing my thing and keep making every one of these jumps. No. Okay, let's not do that again. Only few can say they can do a 3-block vertical jump from no momentum. Fortunately, I'm one of those few, and that was the last difficult jump I needed to make to complete the course. Now it was time for the big reveal and find out if I did all of that for nothing. If someone else has this disc, I don't know how I'm gonna get it back, but at least I have the other two, so worst case scenario, no one gets out of here. I stepped up onto the pedestal expecting the worst, but to my surprise, in my hand was the 3rd disc. Whoever was on this course before me obviously didn't get it. And now I'm holding 3 of the 4 discs needed to get out of here. Only one more disc remains before I can return to Parkour Civilization. That is, if I can survive one more of these courses. I started heading back to Siwat to get the compass for the 4th disc, but then it happened again.
Find me at the houses.
It was another voice in my head, unless it wasn't a voice in my head to begin with. Someone was trying to talk to me, and they were saying they were at the houses? I didn't know what any of the voices meant, but that's when I saw somebody. Standing near one of the houses was someone that I recognized. It was the person I just caught a glimpse of right before I was saved from the void. Whoever this was must have been the person that sent me the message to find them at the houses. But the person still had chain boots on. This was a parkour fighter, meaning there's a good chance that this interaction leads to a parkour battle. But something about this felt different. I don't know why they would be calling me here, but I have to find out. And even if this does end in a battle, that's a risk I'm willing to take. I walked in to see the fighter standing on the other edge of the house. Alright buddy, if you want to fight, let's get it over with.
If that's how you want to repay me for saving your life, fine.
For saving my life? What are you talking about? I've never even seen you before.
I was watching you do the course. I knew you would fail eventually, so I waited until you fell. When you did, I was there to attack you with a brewing stand jump, and the effect was levitation.
You attacked me with parkour right as I fell. I didn't even know that was possible. This doesn't make any sense. Why would you save my life? You don't even know who I am.
I know you're the parkour champion, and the reason I know that is because you've been the pawn of our game ever since you arrived. You've been collecting the discs for us.
No, that's impossible. I fought parkour fighters in battles. I almost died. Why would they try to kill me if they wanted me to get the discs?
Siwat said it would have to be believable.
Oh, so now Siwat's behind this mastermind plan?
Of course he is, and if you don't believe me, jump onto the center block.
I jumped into the middle of the house and it happened again.
If he fights you, you have to lose. This is the only way we win.
It was Siwat's voice. I don't know how you're doing it, but you're making this up.
I'm not. If you parkour across crystals while talking, messages will be trapped inside for years. You're only hearing his voice because he was here setting the trap for you.
I didn't know what to believe. If this was all true, then I've been getting the discs for the enemy the entire time. At this point, I don't even know if anything Siwat has told me is true. If you're in on the plan, then why are you telling me this? What do you want?
Let's just say I don't really like how the plan ends. So I'm hoping that by telling you this, you find a way to win. And in repayment, you can take me back to Parkour Civilization.
How can I be sure you're telling the truth? What if Siwat isn't behind this?
You think it's a coincidence he has those compasses? Why don't you ask him where he got them?
If all of this was true and Siwat was working with the fighters, then I have no one to blame but myself. But as far as I'm concerned, I have the 3 discs. I don't know how in the world they plan on getting these off of me, but if I can get the 4th one, then I can get out of here. At least now that I know I might be in a trap, I can focus on getting myself out of it. But I still don't know if that fighter was telling me the truth or not. Alright, disc number 3 acquired. Wasn't an easy one, that's for sure, but I still got it.
This is insane. To be honest, I didn't think you would be able to do it, but clearly I'm wrong. Only one more to go and we can get out of here. Here, the compass to the last parkour legend. This one is supposed to be the most terrifying course, so good luck.
Well, if there's anyone that can get it done, it's me. Hey, this is just a quick question, but where did you get all of the compasses?
The compasses? Oh yeah, I was just searching through all the chests and I happened to find all of them. Lucky find, I guess.
Yeah, that is real lucky. Oh, that was really convincing. Yep, I am definitely in a trap.
He knows, right? Yeah, he must have figured it out. It doesn't matter. The plan is in motion, and at this point, there is nothing he can do to stop what's coming. I must say, this plan didn't go exactly how I thought it would, but I have everything I need to get my revenge.